Hey everyone, it's Angel Shaver, Stampin' Up Independent Demonstrator from Kansas. And today is the first Thursday of a new month. So we are going to make a stamp or a card with the featured stamp set for September autumn leaves. It's October. Featured stamp set for October autumn leaves. So I've been making a few of these, and you may have seen some here and there, but we're going to create a card together today. I am going to switch camera views and get you pointed down, and we will get creating. Okay. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so that what you're seeing, oh, I know why that is. It's because I had it the wrong portrait mode, not landscape. Okay. We are making a card using the Autumn Leaves stamp set. I know when I show you, I'm holding it up, sometimes the sunlight makes it difficult to see. And we will be featuring this stamp set all during the month of October. We are making our card today using one of the new in colors, copper clay, as our card base. It's a piece of 8.5 by 11, cut in half vertically to make a 4.25 by 11 card, folded in half. It's 4.25 by 5.5. That to the side for now. I have a piece of Berry Vanilla cut 4 by 5.25 for the inside, and a piece from the Autumn Leaves Designer Series paper cut 4 by 5.25 for the outside. I know on the sample this was the design that had a bunch of antique vintage books, but I decided for the live crafting we are going to use this other pattern, which is autumn, a row of autumn trees. And then I have Cajun craze, wild wheat, berry vanilla, and oxidized copper that we'll be doing some die cutting with, is stamping and die cutting with. And I am going to do some stamping of some leaves and the sentiment before we pull our die cut machine out. I actually have a leaf already die cut with the veining already die cut from a different piece that we may use. This is what happens when you use the die cut with the veining and then you attach it to the die cut of the outline of the veining. Put that over here. We'll decide later if we're going to use it. In the meantime, I want to stamp the vein of the maple leaf. With Cajun craze on the Cajun craze paper, and we will see what we think of that. Some tone on tone. Turn my light on. I just realized I'm not getting the full brightness. Okay. Then I want to do the same thing on the wild wheat using the oak leaf vein. Not have stuck that wet chamois right down in the middle of my cardstock. So I'll flip it over so we don't use wet. It's now up there. This is one of the new in colors as well, wild wheat. Finally, we're going to go ahead and need to clean that a little more. We're going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment on the piece of berry vanilla before we pull over our die cut. And I think I'm going to use with a grateful heart. I go and stamp that in copper clay. I would think while we're stamping, if I want to stamp anything on the inside of the card, and I think I might add a sentiment. With a grateful heart, and I'm just going to put a little slim, tiny sentiment that says today and every day. That's why I love photopolymer stamps, because I can see if I'm stamping it the wrong direction or I actually put in. Then pull back out the casing place, and we are going to stamp a make at the bottom of the card interior. going to want it and coming off of the we'll just right there. Oops, made a mess. That's why every page has 2 sides. That means we'll pull back out our sentiment to take care of that in a minute. All right. Oh, I messed that up. Well, I will be adding inside of the cards later. I will have this kind of leaf at the bottom and a sentiment on the top, but I messed up both sides. So I will be getting another sheet out to take care of that later. In the meantime, let's go ahead and pull out the die cutting machine. We will get some of our cutting done. We will be using the oxidized copper to cut a couple of our smaller maple leaves. Of the smaller leaves, there are 2 of each die that come in the kit. So I just happen to have an extra one. I think there will be 3, so that means I only need to cut 1 because I've had 2 already cut from before. That's true. Here we have our third maple leaf. To grab my paper trimmer, or I take your pick tool and use the paper piercer pokey part. There's a little hole that will help it release your die so you can get it out of paper. And now we will be cutting things that use springs. So there's my sentiment with a grateful heart, and I believe it's this thin, longer frame. Yes. washi tape to keep it in place. And we're going to send it on. When you are removing the washi tape off your die cut image, try to remove it at an angle and slowly. That will make it less likely to tear. Then we will be doing the maple leaf and now one thing, if you use these frames to cut out the dies, they will cut off the stem. If you want the stem, you do not want to cover the entire little part at the bottom. Let's see if I can show you that. I'm not going to promise I can show you that. Well, first, I'm going to want to use my washi tape and tape down stuff so it doesn't go in there. And then you want to cover most it's really hard with this type of die because if you don't cover all of it, you don't get the nice leaf shape at the bottom. And I am not talented enough to freehand cut that. Some of you may be, but I am not. So we're not going to try it right now. So the best thing to do would be to then cut out the vines and stem using this die and glue it on the frame leaf. Plus off ethnically. So it's a less likely to tear our paper. And we have our maple. And next we're going to do the same thing with our oak leaf. Okay. Back on before I toss away. Looks that I know. All right. Here is our oak. I'm going to do the same thing, hold the tape at an angle gently to make it less likely to tear. I was finding myself holding my breath as I do that, hoping that this is not going to be the time that I rip my die into pieces. All right, now we start to put it all together. And first, we're going to use the ribbon that is also part of the suite. There are two different ribbons that come together. There's natural and copper. They are out of stock right now, but if you are interested, let me know and I will let you know when they come back into stock. And the same with this designer series paper. It is also currently out of stock. It should be in sometime next week. The ribbon, I think, is scheduled to arrive toward the end of October. I'm using glue dots to attach the ribbon, and by snips, you cut it to the right length, and then a glue dot to attach the other side. And after one of that, but we're just gonna move. Yeah, that's about what I want. And then I want some of the copper trim directly on top of the natural trim. So do the same thing, grab a glue dot, get one end started, and then started, pull it across, trim with the snips, and then we'll use a glue dot to attach the other. We're going to go ahead and attach this whole panel using our glue on the front of the cup. That is not the newest glue. This is. That should help keep our ribbons down as well. All right. Pull out my other dies. And we're gonna start playing with some links. How I always do it, and how I recommend you do it when you're arranging your die cuts and other embellishments too, is that you start just by laying them out until you like where they are. And then you can add them as part, as some glue. May leave this one down too well. I meant to leave a little space for this oak leaf to go in between them. I can grab my dimensionals and put on the sentiment label. These are my mini dimensionals. They're right there. But maybe down just a little. Yeah. And now I have to figure out where to put these guys. I'm putting a lot of glue on them. They don't need a lot. And I don't want them to completely tapped down. Actually, I think I'm going to just put a little bit. That one coming out down there. And I'm going to put the third one All right, now I'm going to add a few of the in color dots. Need to do a better job of organizing my embellishments, or at least pull out the ones I'm going to use before I start filming. Oh, I'm going to grab my cotton ball or my going to put a few little embellishments on the front of this. One of the big wild wheat. Some of the larger ones are a little heavy to pick up with the putty. And I'm just gonna stick it up here in the tree, along with one of these small copper clay. And then a medium copper. If the putty isn't working for you, you can use your paper piercer. But also on the other side of the paper piercer is a flat, I'm not sure what you call it, but it also works really, really well to pick up adhesive back to felt. Okay, and there we have the front of today's card. Now, don't forget, this Saturday is World Card Making Day, and there is a virtual event happening on stampinup.com from 2 to 5 Mountain Time, which is, I believe, 3 to 6 Central Time. There they will be demonstrating crafting, making 3 cards. You can craft right along with them. All of the information is available. If you register, they will send you all the papers used, cutting dimensions, that kind of thing. And the video will be available to watch live on Saturday, but then the recording will be available for you to go back and check out for the rest of the month. So I will be watching World Card Making Day, and I hope that you are crafting right along with me. And I will see you back here next Thursday afternoon. Bye.